Iona, every book is made entirely by hand. Using centuries-old techniques, recycled paper, surplus leather, and vintage hardware, Mychal Mitchell creates journals designed to last far beyond a single lifetime. But in a world of mass production, Iona moves at a different pace. So why go through all this effort? How does she make these books so special?
Hey, I'm Mychal Mitchell. I am a bookbinder here in Seattle, Washington.
Creating a journal begins long before the stitching or binding. It starts with sourcing materials that not only feel beautiful in your hands, but are made to last.
I don't make the paper. I have it custom made for me, making white paper that is consistent page after page after page, which is what my customers expect. I've been working with people in India who are making it from recycled fabrics.
Every decision, from the paper she binds to the leather she cuts, is a balancing act between consistency, sustainability, and durability. After graduating from architecture school, Mychal imagined herself pursuing a completely different path. After her mentor suggested she explore Europe, Mychal spent months traveling the continent with a journal in hand, exploring historic cities and sketching the experience in her journal. By then, it held far more than notes and drawings. It had become a collection of memories from the journey. While waiting for a train, an Italian boy steals her bag with her journal inside. Devastated and in search for a new one, she meets a Venetian craftsman who captivates her in the magic of bookbinding.
Long story short, I bought a book from him and I came back to the States and I started running out of pages. Nobody had anything like it. And I realized, well, I have to have one like this again. So I made one for myself. And then that's what a book is made out of.
The unexpected moment and the techniques she learned became Mychal's inspiration for founding Iona Handcrafted Books. But starting an artisanal bookbinding workshop in a modern world would come with its challenges.
There's a lot of things that I learned from the bookbinder, but some of the things I'm like, how did he do that?
One of the first hurdles would be finding sustainable leather.
Somebody pick a color.
Green.
Green, okay. Let's do a green book.
Rather than sourcing brand new materials, Mychal works mostly with surplus leather from handbag and bootmaking factories. Scratches, scars, and imperfections that otherwise might get thrown out become part of the journal's personality, making every book slightly different from the next.
So this is a bison leather. See how this one has scars on it? I will strategically place those scars and scratches and brands.
Every hole is marked and punched manually with an awl.
And this would be easy to have like a machine punched thing, but there's something about every hole not being exactly the same and not exactly perfect, which makes it perfect. So my understanding of the type of binding that I do is that it originated with monks in Italy. The books that were made back then were very rare and needed to stay in the libraries. If they wanted their own copy of scriptures or anything at all, they had to hand copy it into a more durable book. They came up with this style of binding where the paper is stitched directly to the leather, so there's no glues in there because usually it's the glues that break down over the years.
The result is something highly durable. Books designed to travel, to age well, and to carry memories through generations.
In the 32 years that I've been doing this, I've only had to repair 4 or 5 books. And I mean, I've made thousands and thousands of books. Voila.
But before an Iona journal is finished, a final touch is added to set them apart: antique hardware.
These are the door hinges that I pick up from all over the country.
Hinges, locks, and clasps give each journal a distinctive look and add another layer of history. Over the years, Mychal has spent time in many architectural salvage yards, estate sales, and old barns across the country searching for unique pieces.
These are all from the 1880s, 1890s. Some are from the early 1900s. These are from Egypt. That's from France. Architectural salvage yards are scattered all over the country. You can find them in New Orleans, you can find them on the East Coast, you can find them here in Seattle. When I find them, they're rusty like this. And then sometimes when I find them, somebody has painted over them. And then once I clean them up, they look more like that. I can hammer this one.
For Mychal, the appeal of vintage hardware isn't just about the aesthetics. Old paint, worn edges, and signs of use became part of a bigger story.
It is very much my my little corner of the market because it's kind of insane to spend as much time like finding the hardware, doing all the sanding and the cleaning and then the spraying.
With a finished product, the next hurdle is getting people to buy. She started with a stand here at the Fremont Sunday Market. Her biggest success would become art shows and fairs.
Most of my sales are at art shows around the country. I do shows in Texas and Colorado and Kansas and Missouri. From year to year, you may get into this show this year and then you don't get into it for another 4 years. But then you get into a show that's the most prestigious show in the country. And you're like, oh, yes, I'm worthy.
After years out of state, Mychal eventually made her way back to Seattle in a studio just blocks from the Fremont Market. Here, the space serves as both a workshop and a storefront.
I have this size, and then we start going up to the bigger sizes. They all go up to like 9.5 by 12.5, 11 by 15. The biggest one I have in here is probably this one at the moment. This is the tiniest. This one feels a lot like a Slinky if you play with it. It took a few days. This is a photo album, and I give you the old-fashioned photo mounting corners, old school style. And then there's vellum in between the pages to protect the photos from damaging each other.
These journals are meant for more than life on a shelf. They're more than just decoration. They're meant to travel, to collect wear, and to hold stories of the people who use them.
The idea is that these are going to be heirlooms, so I encourage people to use them and not just have them sitting on the coffee table. Somebody's going to be really frustrated in 100 years when they find this in the old trunk. Great grandma had this journal. What did she have to say? Nothing. Nothing.
Over the years, Mychal has watched her journals become part of people's lives in ways she could have never imagined.
This book was bought by a guy, Benno Philipson. He lived in Portland, and he was just retiring. He was an architect. He took it to China. Then he brought it back after he came back from his trip to show me. All these people gathered around, and I sold several books that day. It started this thing with Benno, and I'd make him a book, and he would travel with it, fill it with beautiful paintings and writings about the culture. So the Yangtze River was getting dammed, and they were one of the last. He passed away a year and a half ago now. When he passed, his wife called me and said, I'm gonna give you the very first one he ever filled. So now I have this one. So this is like a piece of Benno.
From sustainable materials to time-tested craftsmanship, every part of an Iona journal is created with longevity in mind. And together, those elements create a place where memories can be preserved for generations.